Welcome to another dojo topic. Today we're going to be talking about cause and effect. So I'm really happy that you attracted this video, and it'll be interesting to see what comes up for you. I'm going to share my screen with you right now and remind you that you are at the dojo. We meet here live every Tuesday, and if you can't join us live, I'm really excited that you're watching this replay. Remember, today we're talking about cause and effect. And last week, our topic was on forgiveness. What if forgiveness isn't about letting someone else off the hook, but finally taking your power back? So if you were not able to join us live or you haven't yet seen the video, I will put a link to that video at the end of this video. Today, we're going to be talking about cause and effect and why you are not the experience. Because most people believe cause and effect means something happened to me, so now I am this way. But from an awakened perspective, that's not the truth. That's the story of the experience, not the truth of who you are. And that's what we're talking about today. When we think of cause and effect, we usually define it as something happened and something else followed. So let's consider this question. Can there be an effect without a cause? And the answer is, it depends on which level of reality you're speaking from. In the physical dualistic realm, the answer is no, because in the world of form, every effect appears to have a cause. This is the foundation of Isaac Newton's law of motion, classical physics, linear logic. Push something, it moves. Speak harshly, someone reacts. Plant a seed, something grows. In this realm, cause and effect are inseparable. In the psychological realm, it gets more interesting. An emotion feels like an effect. I'm upset. But what caused it? The event? The interpretation? The memory it triggered? The identity attached to it? Often what we call the cause is actually just another effect farther back in the chain. The mind loves being linear, but consciousness is not linear. In the spiritual attributeless sense, here's where it shifts. From the perspective of awareness, cause and effect arise together. They're a pair, a construct, a framework. But awareness itself, it has no cause and it produces no effect. It simply is. You, the one experiencing, are not bound by cause and effect. There is only the experience. So, can there be an effect without a cause? In the world of form? No. In the world of mind, the cause is often misidentified. In awareness, cause and effect are appearances within you. When you believe you are the effect, you search for causes. When you recognize you are the awareness in which both arise, the question itself softens. It softens to the point where it's not even an issue. It's not even something that you need to put any thought, energy, emotion, reaction towards because it's just not there. You realize, oh, that's not what I am. As you can see, we're not talking about three separate ideas. We're talking about three levels of perception, and that's powerful. Physical cause and effect is the world of form. This is the visible world. Action, reaction, words, response, money decisions, financial results, food choices, body sensations. This is where most people believe they live 100% of the time. It's the realm that Isaac Newton described linear, measurable, predictable. In this realm, cause and effect appear solid, and they are, within the rules of form. But here's the problem. When someone identifies only with form, they feel like life is happening to them. Psychological cause and effect is the world of mind. Now it gets subtle. An event happened. This is form, an event. It's a form arising. But the suffering doesn't come from the event. It comes from the meaning assigned, the memory it triggers, the identity it reinforces. Event, interpretation, emotion, reaction. This is where most inner work happens. And this is where many people live. They've done the work, they've traced the causes, they've processed the childhood memories, they've cleared the attic. But even here, they can still feel like an effect because the mind is still running the chain. Awareness does not participate in the chain. It witnesses the event, the thought, the emotion, the reaction, without being altered by them. Form changes. Mind fluctuates. Awareness does not. This is where you are not the experience lands. Not as a concept, as a recognition. Last week we revisited the koshas. So here's an example of the different perceptual layers. On the form level, sound waves, words are spoken. On the mind level, thoughts can come up like, they don't respect me. Emotion arises. Old memories are activated. On the awareness level, there is impersonal, effortless awareness of sound, impersonal, effortless awareness of tightening in the body, impersonal, effortless awareness of thought. None of it is actually affected because it is not being personalized by using words such as I, me, mine, or my. You may no longer need to hear that everything happens for a reason, but you may need to be reminded that you are not bound by the chain you keep analyzing. This framework lets you honor the human experience, validate psychology, then gently dissolve identification. So let's look at cause and effect to see how it's possible that you are not the experience. The world of form is where cause and effect appear solid. In the world of form, cause and effect are real. Touch fire, it burns. Overspend, the account drops. Say something sharp, someone reacts. This is the realm that Isaac Newton describes so beautifully, action and reaction. And there's nothing wrong with this realm. It's functional, it's practical, it's necessary. But here's where suffering begins. When we believe that because something happened in form, it defines who we are. An event happens, a divorce, a betrayal, a childhood moment. And slowly, without noticing, we move from that happened to that happened to me, and then that is me. That's where the chain tightens. Now let's go deeper into the world of mind, where cause and effect multiply. The event in form is one thing, but the mind adds layers. Event, interpretation, emotion, identity. Thought, feeling, and emotion are three aspects of the same thing, just like water, ice, and steam. When someone doesn't call you back, on the form level, it's simply a phone staying silent. On the mind level, thoughts are created, such as, I'm not important, I'm being rejected, this always happens, they don't care about me. Now we're no longer dealing with cause and effect in form. We're dealing with psychological cause and effect. And this chain can stretch back decades or even generations. This is where inner work lives. This is where we trace patterns, clear the attic, examine beliefs. And that work is sacred. But even here, you can still feel like an effect because you're still inside the chain. Now let's look at awareness, which is prior to cause and effect. There is something that notices the event, the thought, the tightening in the chest, the story forming. What is noticing all of that? Does that noticing have a story? Does it have a past? Does it have a wound? Or is it simply aware? Form reacts, mind reacts, but awareness, it does not react. It allows. You are not the event. You are not the interpretation. You are not the emotional wave. You are the one aware of them. Cause and effect belong to the experience, not to you. When you recognize this, not intellectually, but directly, the chain does not exist. Nothing has to change, but everything feels different. Imagine you're sitting in a movie theater. The movie is intense. There's heartbreak, conflict, loss, triumph. Your body reacts, you cry, your heart races. Inside the film, there is endless cause and effect. The betrayal caused the divorce, the loss caused the anger, the apology caused the reconciliation. The chain is constant. But here's the question. Is the screen affected by the movie? When there's a fire in the film, does the screen burn? When there's a flood, does the screen get wet? When there's heartbreak, does the screen crack? No. The images move, the sound vibrates, the story unfolds, but the screen remains untouched. Form is the movie. Mind is the storyline. Cause and effect are the plot twists. You are attributeless, just like the screen. You can mistake yourself for the character, but that misunderstanding is the only suffering. The moment you remember you are the screen, you can still watch the movie, you can still feel, you can still participate, but you are no longer afraid of the next scene because you know what you are. Nothing has ever actually happened to you. It has only happened within you. And you are vast enough to hold it all. Here's one example from my personal library of the mind. December 1982. My husband and I went to see a movie called Sophie's Choice. I assumed it was a romantic love story about a woman choosing the perfect man. Clearly, I did not do my research. Instead, it was about a Nazi war camp, and there was a woman forced to choose which of her two children would live and which would die. At the time, I was a young mother with two daughters, both of them under 3 years of age. To say I was freaked out would be an understatement. You can see that the movie Sophie's Choice perfectly illustrates form, mind, and awareness in motion. What happened at the level of form? There was light on a screen, sound waves, actors performing, a storyline unfolding. Nothing in that theater was actually happening to me. My husband couldn't understand my reaction, but what he didn't see was the chain happening inside me. The form was the movie scene that created the chain of interpretation. What if that were my children? Visceral fear. Childhood memories were activated. The identity of protector mother was activated, and the body went into the primal state of being, inviting the emotion of fear, panic, and overwhelming constricting emotions. Was the movie causing my reaction, or was it the meaning, the identification, the memories stored in my personal library of the mind? Can you see that the cause wasn't linear? The movie was a trigger, not the source. But here's what I didn't know in 1982. There was something in that theater that was aware of the racing heart, the tightening chest, the fear, the old memories rising. That awareness was not panicking. It was noticing the body react, the mind react, but awareness did not react. Awareness merely noticed forms arising and falling away, just like waves on the ocean. They come in, they go out. They come in, they go out. They just flow in and out. So, what exactly was being affected? The nervous system? Yes. The mind? Yes. The identity of a young mother? Absolutely. But was awareness harmed? Did awareness become unsafe? Did awareness change? All right, now here's your opportunity to go into your own personal library of the mind. So, if you will, take a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath, relax, and now think of a moment when you had a strong emotional reaction. It doesn't have to be dramatic, just a moment when something hit you. Got it? Now, what happened at the level of form? Just the facts. What was said? What was done? What physically occurred? If a camera had been in the room, what would it have recorded? Notice how simple this is. Now, what did your mind immediately add to noticing? What meaning did you assign? What story did you make it mean about you, about them, about your safety, your worth, your identity? What sentence formed in your head? What emotion followed the interpretation? Where did you feel it in the body? Did you feel tightness, heat, constriction, a drop in the stomach? Notice how the body responded to the story. Now ask yourself, who did I become in that moment? The rejected one? The unappreciated one? The not good enough one? The protector? The abandoned child? The misunderstood? Which identity felt threatened? And now, what was aware of all of that? What was aware of the words? Aware of the story? Aware of the tightening? Aware of the identity arising? Did that awareness panic? Did that awareness become unsafe? Did it shrink? Or was it simply noticing? Cause and effect were happening in form. Cause and effect were happening in the mind. But was awareness inside the chain, or was the chain appearing inside awareness? If you are the awareness noticing the reaction, what exactly are you trying to fix? Maybe nothing is wrong. Maybe something was just experienced. Now take a deep breath, open your eyes, return to the present moment. This is when we in the group stopped to discuss how this topic of cause and effect landed on us. And you may want to do the same. You might want to take this opportunity when you're still in the feeling, in the energy, in the awareness of this topic, and see how it landed on you. And if you were unable to join us live, I've listed some reflection questions. These are some of the questions that we discussed during our conversation in the dojo. And take a moment, pause the video. I'm not going to read these to you. It's simply for your opportunity to take this a step farther if you like. Now, how did this land on you today? Are you seeing cause and effect a little differently? Were you able to come up with your own example? Were you able to walk it through the steps and see, like, this is not happening to you? You are not the experience. If you want any kind of support with this work, visit me at masteringyourbeliefs.com. Consider joining us live at the dojo, whatever you feel called to do. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller, the one and only Life Sensei, saying ciao for now.